We've got some bad news for all you NCIS fans out there. The crossover event's been delayed, but don't be too disheartened. It hasn't been delayed by too much. It was originally slated to air on January 2nd, 2023. Now it's been pushed back by a week to Monday, January 9th. Just last month, CBS confirmed the huge event, which is going to include the main NCIS series alongside spin-offs Hawaii and Los Angeles. The event's going to start with the main NCIS series and will see agents from the three forces all coming together in DC to attend a retirement party. That's when things get exciting. The party will soon find themselves investigating a suicide, and that's when the events will merge into the events of Hawaii and Los Angeles, which will both air episodes over the course of the evening. It's the first ever NCIS verse.
Hypoxia usually shows wrinkled discoloration in the fingers, but no signs of it here.
Yeah, or here.
Commander.
And we couldn't be more thrilled for this epic 3-hour event that's so creatively bringing all three NCIS teams together for fans to enjoy in one night and beyond. Intrigued? So am I. It's safe to say the epic event won't be short on drama. The story will focus on different NCIS divisions coming together to investigate a major case. What case, you ask? The death of a beloved FLETC professor who taught multiple members of each of the squads. The division's paths will converge at the retirement party of said professor. On the eve of the celebration, they'll find the professor dead of an apparent suicide, but his students know better than to fall for that.
I always say Proust.
Yeah, me too. And they definitely need to have the talk.
Actually, we just had, like, a talk. It was intense.
They'll immediately suspect foul play and get to work doing what they do best. While investigating the professor's past, we'll see the agents uncover a super shady hitman, and the more they dig into it, the more they'll put themselves in serious danger. Sounds juicy already. And this is just the opening episode. There's a lot more to expect from the next one, as the stakes get higher with the next NCIS Hawaii episode. A couple of the members of the divisions at the party will find themselves captured by a CIA agent needing intel from the team. Meanwhile, a few others will learn about an asset that had just arrived in Hawaii, someone who can potentially be connected to several assassinations.
No, she just brought a moving box down from the spare bedroom. He's on his way back from the store. The tracking device you planted shows that he's 2 blocks away.
Well, I did the dishes. Mine and yours.
You're going to see a couple of familiar faces show up in this one. And finally, they'll be closing things out on the night of the 9th with an exciting episode of NCIS LA. The new episode will feature some surprising twists and dark turns. While Agent Roundtree and Fatima are searching for an MIA kill bride, they're going to be ambushed, and things will just go further downhill from there. They're going to learn that every member of the team has a $200,000 bounty on their heads. Keep in mind that all this is just from the synopsis of the first 3 episodes of the crossover event. There's so much more to come. It's going to be a crazy ride, and we can hardly wait. That's not all.
I wouldn't call myself that, but I do know my Arabicas from my Robustas.
Well, there's a new place that just opened up a couple blocks from work. They name their drinks after celebrities, like Al Cappuccino or Elvis Presso.
There's a lot more news from the NCIS universe. For starters, Michael Weatherly recently teased his return. He teased fans with a post hinting that he'll eventually be returning. For those who don't know, Weatherly played Agent Anthony Donazzo on the NCIS cast and quickly became one of the most popular characters on the show.
Le Cajafo. Le Cajafo.
Please tell me you're playing the part of the drag queen Zaza.
He ended up leaving the show to pursue other endeavors, one of which was starring on a hit show, Bull.
I asked Dad if I could get a few, and then what I did is I brought them to school, and I started selling them, and they were moving like hotcakes.
So you're talking Swiss Army black market?
Yeah, I was adding 10%, just to...
But now that Bull's been cancelled, Weatherly has a lot more free time to pursue other opportunities again. Ones he's had before, for instance? Back when the NCIS rumors of a character returning on the fall finale surfaced, fans assumed they were about Weatherly's return. So while we may not get to see him on the season 20 fall finale, it sure looks like he just opened another door in a pretty big way. Fans think so because of the post I mentioned earlier. This is kind of how the post went. A server at a sushi place asked him, "What's next?" To which he replied, "A podcast and maybe an indie movie, another round of Donazzo at some point." He ended the post with, "She stared at me and said, 'No, sorry, what's your next sushi dish?'"
This was the restaurant with the striped.
TGIF.
Right. I was not the host of Friday Night Comedy Bar.
That's different
I was table for four.
So, clearly, there was some humor there, but I can't help but think that there's some kind of hint in there for die-hard fans. It's definitely not confirmation, that's for sure, but it certainly seems like he really does want to play the character again at some point. Fingers crossed until then. That's a little good news for you, but there's some sad stuff we need to talk about as well. The death of a beloved director linked to the show, for instance. NCIS and NCIS LA director Terrence O'Hara has died. He also worked on NCIS New Orleans for a couple of years. In total, Terrence directed 56 episodes of NCIS, 29 episodes of NCIS Los Angeles, and 4 episodes of NCIS New Orleans. We're fully expecting to see title cards at the end of future episodes denoting the loss of the talented individual. Some other projects he worked on included directing 13 episodes of Grimm, 13 episodes of Renegade, 12 episodes of Smallville, and 6 episodes of The Blacklist. Showing his length of involvement with the NCIS universe, the man also directed 17 episodes of JAG. Earlier in his career, he even appeared on screen a few times, acting in a 1981 episode of Chips and a 1982 episode of The Greatest American Hero. Talk about a full resume. In other not-so-great NCIS news, Sean Murray has fans worried with a social media post from a few weeks ago. Murray has played Agent Timothy McGee on the NCIS cast for some 20 years now, making him the longest tenured part of the show. After all those years on the same show, it's not surprising for Murray to want to try his luck with new projects.
Are you kidding? Come on. Okay, I am sorry. I didn't mean it. Boss, this thing is sentient. It is only loyal to its master.
But it would still be a shock if he announced that he was exiting the show. Taking to Twitter, the actor wrote the following cryptic message: "Close the accounts, fold up the tents, take the air out of the bounce. I'm sorry, friends, this is my house. I'm burning it."
Will occasionally give me one. The last time, I'll very rarely ever get them from McGee. Will very rarely get them from Gibbs. These days. But when he does, Mark has this thing perfected where he barely touches you.
Does that sound like a veiled announcement regarding his departure from the show? We sure hope not. It appears that Murray was simply quoting a song called Strong and Wrong by Dead Cross, so maybe it has nothing to do with exiting NCIS. He's mentioned being a huge fan of the band, so quoting their song would be pretty on brand for him. Maybe he was just really into the song at the time? I sure hope so. Now let's wrap things up on a happier note. New episodes ahead of the major crossover have fans overjoyed. And it's not just because they have their favorite crime show back on CBS, but also because they got to see the return of 2 of their favorites. Viewers took to social media to react to episode 9 of season 14, which saw the return of on-screen couple Marty Deeks and Kenzie Bly, played by Eric Christian Olsen and Daniela Ruat, respectively. The duo joined forces within the same team to help solve some intriguing cases. A great appetizer for what's to come on the 9th. That's all we have for you today. Catch the 3-hour-long crossover event on the 9th of January 2023, kicking off with the first episode at 8 p.m. Eastern and Pacific Standard Time. See you in the next one.